Okay, so the first thing we have to do when we're gonna apply long division now with polynomials. Sorry about this. Trying to get it to move a little bit. First thing we have to do is set it up. Okay, so remember this is the divisor, and this is the dividend. And so I'm going to put x plus 2 into 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5. And I'm just going to put a note in here. The polynomials have to be in standard form. Sorry for that writing. That's a big deal. So if they're not in standard form, you need to put them in standard form. Okay, so here we go. We are going to look at the first term in the divisor and see how many times it goes into the first term of the dividend. That's all we're going to look at. Now, one way I like to think of this is what times x would be 2x cubed. Now, if you're really struggling with it, you could go over here and write 2x cubed divided by x. What is that? 2x squared. Okay, so I'm going to write 2x squared up here. Then I'm going to multiply. I'm multiplying 2x squared times x, which is 2x cubed. That we planned for. That's supposed to happen. But then I also multiply 2x squared times 2, which is plus 4x squared. Okay, so think about that. All right, now this next step is a big deal. You have to subtract. Now, what I usually tell students is get yourself a nice sign changing pen, and you're going to change the sign here and here. That's very important. So you have to remember you're subtracting both of them, okay? All right. So mine's a red sign changing pen. Okay, so you're changing the signs on those two terms, what you're subtracting. Okay, these cancel out. That's supposed to happen. And I'm getting negative 7x squared. Then I'm going to bring down the next term. And then I start the whole process over. I look at the first term here, x. How many times does that go into 7x squared? I'm sorry, negative 7x squared. It needs to look exact. Again, you could go over here and write it out. You'll get in the habit, the practice, and you won't need to write it out over here on the side, but it might take a few times. Okay, so it's minus 7x. Then what do? Well, I multiply. So I'm going to multiply negative 7x times x. That's going to be negative 7x squared. It should look exactly like that first term. Then I'm going to go negative 7x times 2, which is negative 14x. Yeah. Okay. So that's the multiplication part. Now we have to do the subtracting, but I don't think of it as subtracting. I think of change the signs. Change the sign there, change the sign there. Okay, that's really important. These do take some space to write out. Okay, these are canceling out. A negative 7x squared and a positive 7x squared. Those are out. That's supposed to happen. 4x and 14x is 18x. And then I'm almost done. I got to bring down one more term, plus 5. And then we go again. So we're back to saying how many times does x go into 18x? The answer is 18 times. Then I'm going to multiply 18 times x. So that's 18x. It should look exactly like the term ahead of it. And then 18 times 2, which is 36. Okay, now you're almost done, but don't forget the steps. The next part is to change the signs. Okay, so minus here, minus here. Very important. Okay. Now, these are going to cancel out. The 18x minus 18x, that's supposed to happen. And what's 5 and negative 36? Negative 31. That is the remainder right there. How do you want to write the answer? Well, oops, sorry about that. The answer is going to be from up here to, it's going to be a polynomial. I hope I have enough room here. 2x squared minus 7x plus 18. And then it's going to be, now there's two ways you can write it. You can write plus a negative 31 over the divisor, which is x plus 2. Or if you just want to make that a minus sign and then have 31 over x plus 2, that's fine. I don't really care which way you do it. This might be a little bit safer to write it this way, so, and I think in WebAssign they probably just have you put the remainder in, but that negative 31 is the remainder in case it comes up. But one way to write the polynomial answer is, here's the, polynomial part, plus, then you put the remainder over the divisor. Okay, that's one example.